Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the We Are Mental Wellness Luncheon today. We're going to start the program in just a few moments, so if you'd like to make your way to your seats and start having some of this delicious-looking salad. And just remember, the earlier you get to your seat, you can always switch your dessert out with one that you really like. We'll get started in a few moments. Well, good afternoon, everyone. As you are making your way to your seats and taking pictures and seeing everybody that you know, we're going to get started. I'm Nancy Wilson from K99.1 FM. Thank you so very much for being with us today at the We Are Mental Wellness Luncheon. I'm honored to be part of this special day. Now we'd like to welcome Rabbi Karen Bodney Hallis, Senior Rabbi at Temple Israel in downtown Dayton, to present our invocation.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? I can't really turn it. Okay. Good afternoon. God of our ancestors, you who walk with us through struggle and healing, through silence and through song, be with us now as we gather in sacred partnership. In the Jewish tradition, we begin each day with a series of blessings, thanking God for the small miracles that sustain us, for opening the eyes of the blind, for clothing the naked, for giving strength to the weary, for straightening those who are bent low. These blessings remind us that miracles aren't only thunderbolts from heaven. They live in acts of compassion, in dignity restored, in purpose rediscovered. They live in community. And so it feels fitting that we gather here today in celebration of a place called Miracle Clubhouse, because that is exactly what it creates every day. Miracles. Miracles of empowerment, miracles of inclusion, miracles of healing. At Miracle Clubhouse, adults living with persistent mental illness are not defined by what they lack, but by what they bring. They are valued, needed, and reminded that their stories matter, that they matter. The prophet Jeremiah once wrote to those in exile, "Seek the welfare of the city in which you dwell, for in its welfare you shall find your own." Today we give thanks for those who live out this vision, those who lift others not from obligation but from love, those who know that when one of us heals, we all rise a little higher. May the Holy One bless those in our community who are struggling with strength, with connection, and with hope. And may those of us in positions of support be blessed with patience, understanding, and the wisdom to show up in meaningful ways. May this meal nourish more than just our bodies. May it nourish our resolve to keep creating miracles through every open door, every kind word, every act of kindness and care. May it be God's will. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Well, if you haven't started eating your salads, please do, as the men already have. And we're going to get started with our program in just a little bit, so please enjoy. Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're enjoying those delicious salads. They look amazing. Welcome to the We Are Mental Wellness event. We are so happy to be with you this afternoon. Today we have a very powerful message to share about mental illness and the power of community. Worldwide, 1 in 4 people is impacted by mental illness. It does not discriminate. It impacts people of all ages, races, and economic backgrounds. Likely you know someone who's impacted. It could be likely they're sitting at the table with you. But living mentally well is possible. Programs like Goodwill Easter Seals, Miracle Clubhouse are changing the lives of people living with mental illness every single day. The time you spend with us today is likely to change your life as well. The way you look at mental illness and the way you look at people who live with mental illness. Miracle Clubhouse puts the emphasis on wellness. And today, We want you to learn more about mental wellness and the art of living mentally well. So to tell you more about today's We Are Mental Wellness Luncheon, please welcome Lance Dietrich, President and CEO of Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley, and Jennifer Boniface, Vice President and Chief Mission Officer for Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley. Lance and Jen, come on up.
Good afternoon. I am Lance Dietrich. As President and CEO of Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley, I have the privilege of leading over 1,400 amazing team members and working with over 200 dedicated community volunteers as we work together to improve the lives of people in need in our community. None of the great things that we do at Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley would be possible without the outstanding support we get from the community. So I want to just do something right here to sort of start us off. By show of hands, if you raise your hands nice and high, if you have shopped at a Goodwill store, if you've donated to a Goodwill store, or you've made a gift to Goodwill Easter Seals, please raise your hand way up high for me, please. Look around the room. Let's give everybody a big round of applause. Wow. You're going to hear a lot of great success stories today about the Miracle Clubhouse and the amazing achievements people had in their lives. You'll hear sometimes other stories about other Goodwill Easter Seals programs that have really changed people's lives. Just realize you're a big part of each of these successes. It could not happen without the support we get from each one of you, so thank you for everything you do. Another thing that is really important to us as we move forward is Goodwill Easter Seals and the Middle Clubhouse, to be successful, really, it's great to have the support of our elected officials. And we are very fortunate to have a lot of great elected leaders that really care about people in our community. And we are very fortunate to have a number of those elected officials with us here today. So if you're an elected official, I'd ask that you just stand so we can sort of recognize you as a group. I know we have a number of people around the room. I know at my table, if you could just stand up for a second here, and we'll give you a big round of applause here. And we've got some commissioners and Matt Heck back there. Thank you, because with your support, programs like the Miracle Clubhouse are possible and make a big difference in our community. Now let's talk a little bit more about Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley and the Miracle Clubhouse program. At Goodwill Easter Seals, our mission is to empower people with disabilities and other disadvantages to achieve independence and improve their quality of life. Last year, we helped more than 24,000 children and adults on their journey to independence. These journeys include people in need of employment, adults with age-related disabilities or developmental disabilities who need some safe place to go during the day, children who need help getting a good start in life, and others who just need a little help to live more independently. And it includes people living with mental illness and behavioral health challenges. It was in 2011 that we began having conversations with members of the Greater Dayton Clubhouse to see if it would be possible to make Clubhouse part of the mission services of Goodwill Easter Seals. Through those conversations, Miracle Clubhouse was formed and opened its doors in February 2012. Now I'm going to ask our Chief Mission Officer, Jen Boniface, to talk a little bit more about the Clubhouse.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Since 2012, our Miracle Clubhouse has grown to a community of more than 400 members who encourage and support each other in their everyday journeys through mental wellness. We're excited to have them as a cornerstone of our behavioral health programs, and we succeed with them, we struggle with them, we encourage them, but more importantly, we are inspired by them and their commitment to living mentally well and to courageously battle stereotypes around mental health that plague our community. We are beyond proud to be a part of their journey as they courageously say every day, we are mental wellness. Say it with me, everyone in the room. We are mental wellness. I'd like to take a moment, and if you're comfortable doing so, if our Miracle Clubhouse members would please stand so we can acknowledge you, we can support you, and we can celebrate with you in your courageous display of commitment to mental health. Thank you for setting an example for us every day on what it means to be courageous and to admit I'm not okay, but together we can be okay. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our Miracle Clubhouse Advisory Council. These individuals meet regularly to ensure the operations of Miracle Clubhouse flow smoothly and that we successfully adhere to the Clubhouse International standards by which we are governed. They've also tirelessly spent the last year and a half working behind the scenes to bring this year's We Are Mental Wellness event to life. Specifically, I'd like to acknowledge Amy Rollins, a founder of the Miracle Clubhouse and the chair for this event. If our Clubhouse Advisory Council members would please stand along with Amy so we can recognize you, we would appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone for being here today. In times that are trying and uncertain, events like this, sharing space with people that are in this room, celebrating the journeys of those who are working toward mental wellness, serve as a beacon of hope for us as we overcome these times. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. It makes more difference than you may ever know. Thank you.
Thank you, Lance and Jen. We are feeling the love here this afternoon. Now, they just told you a little bit about Miracle Clubhouse, but now we want to show you. Let's watch how the Miracle Clubhouse has made a difference for Katie.
At Miracle Clubhouse, we believe in the power of community, hope, and transformation. Members find a place to connect, to prevent isolation. They build and share their skills, seek employment, access educational opportunities, gain confidence, and engage in social and wellness activities. There are hundreds of clubhouses in countries all over the world, and they are all founded on the belief that work and the relationships formed through it play a key role in healing and provide a foundation for personal growth and achievement.
This is Sunday morning, and I always sing in a church choir in our local area. And we're going to be singing a couple songs today. I have a bit of a solo in one, so I'm pretty excited.
They just could not understand.
I've been going by Kate.
People say it's real easy to see a physical disability. It's hard to see, a mental disability or mental illness. And going through the journey with her, it kind of opened my eyes to a lot of stigma on mental illness.
It's scary because you have no idea I had no idea what was going on. My complete downward spiral when I was about 29. I think that was like a huge breakthrough because I had blamed myself. Like I thought there was something wrong with me, or it's like an internal shame. Finding peer support, such as Miracle Clubhouse, working with staff members who have knowledge of mental health has been a huge help and has helped me so much in my stabilization. It's always there when you need it. Every day during our meetings, we always talk about, does anyone have any needs right now?
Kate and I have built a relationship through the years. One thing I like about Kate is she's very dedicated. She's driven. She does things that make sure the clubhouse operates efficiently.
I met her at my internship at the clubhouse. Over the years of working side by side, we've even grown into I would consider a friendship. Having that level playing field really opens it up to have those relationships that are better. When they see a clinician, they are seeing a clinician for 1 hour a week. Kate knows that she can come into Clubhouse and speak to one of us. And to me, it's a deeper level because she can speak to me on things she might not feel comfortable opening up to somebody that she only sees 1 hour a week.
We really got to know each other when we started working on the podcast together. I was telling somebody earlier, it's really hard not to connect to Kate. She's such a friendly, outgoing person, and we like a lot of the same stuff. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Empowering Discussions.
I always get smiles every time I walk in, and I can help out and support others as well, which is very fulfilling to me. I feel good about myself.
She's a completely different person today. She's functioning much, much better than she was. She can hold a job. She would tell me about the things that she was doing at Miracle Clubhouse. She doesn't just go there and participate. It seems like she takes on a leadership role there. It's always been my philosophy. If you can't work on your own problems, if you help other people, then all of a sudden you're helping yourself. So that's what I like to hear. You know, she developed friendships, and I see a drastic difference in her.
I've seen Clubhouse be very proactive. There's that push to kind of better yourself, to reach your potential because they know it, and they see it, and they know it's possible.
Everybody, thanks for coming to karaoke night at the Miracle Clubhouse. I almost said musical clubhouse. I love seeing them get excited. Do you want to sing?
Yeah, I do.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world.
We'll put on a song and you just dance to it. Organizations like Clubhouse are integral and incredibly important. I've seen a lot of heartache, and I've seen a lot of things that have happened to my friends, and this is saving lives. I cannot stress that enough, how places like Miracle Clubhouse are saving lives.
I got a lot of water in my brain, and I got no common sense, got nobody left to believe.
Sometimes in life, you can't help yourself. You have to lean on other people, and you have to ask people to help you.
Clubhouses like ours prove to be a critical lifeline for those who may otherwise feel isolated or unsupported. Every day, I am inspired as I witness growth and progress in their recovery. Clubhouses prove that individuals living with mental illness can and do lead fulfilling, productive, and happy lives. Your donation will help create lasting change and build a stronger, more inclusive community for everyone. Thank you for supporting the continued growth of our Clubhouse community.
Thank you, Kate. We salute you for your bravery and your beautiful voice that deserves to be heard. Now, please welcome Kate and Ricky. You may be familiar with them from the program, both dedicated members of Miracle Clubhouse.
Let's give Kate a round of applause for being so brave today with that. You know, when I look around this room, I see a lot of faces that I know. What I see is a village. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. I say it takes a village to help those who are hurting, those who need healing. And right now, what I'm looking at is the village. You are the village. You are the family. I want to thank you, first of all, for helping us to heal from all those years up to now. I was also one of those who had a lot of difficulties being able to reconnect with society due to my military service. I was isolated, and I got to the point that I didn't even love myself. So I know I couldn't have loved you because I didn't have anything to give. I found someone who belonged to this place called the Miracle Clubhouse. I knew nothing about it. And for some reason, they loved me. They helped me to get over the stigma of having a mental health disorder. They started to get involved in my treatment. It got to the point I started to be able to love myself again. Therefore, I was able to love others. So, but see, it took the village. It took the psychiatrist. It took the therapist. It took the nurses. It took family. And most of all, it took you. You gave. out of your love and out of your heart to get me to where I am today. If you would ask me 10 years ago, would I be able to even speak on my own behalf, I would tell you that you are absolutely crazy. But see, here I am. The Miracle Clubhouse saved my life and the auspice of Goodwill Easter Seals. I can't forget the VA administration. They helped me as well, but they can only get me as far as they could. I knew I didn't have a clue on how to be a good member of society. So here I am. This is what you see is what you get. But I say thank you to Miracle Clubhouse for everything they've done for me and bringing me this far. I could not have made it without it. And I thank you for what you did. You gave, which then helped me and people like me. I hope that I speak for at least most of the members of Miracle Clubhouse. We can't do it alone. I thought I could, but I was wrong. I can't do it even alone now. I've got a ways to go. But out of your love and out of the love of the Miracle Clubhouse, I know that I can do it. Today, I can say I can do this. So once again, thank you for bringing me this far. And I ask you again, because I tell you, we need it. We need you. Please, if you find it in your heart, please give. Because without you, we can't do it. We can't make it. So now I give you the cake.
I'm short, so. Well, Ricky said everything. Thank you, yes, thank you all for coming today, very much so. My why of being at Miracle Clubhouse, I found them out from NAMI. I was at a NAMI support group that my husband lovingly introduced to me was NAMI. And I said, I want to find a job. And they said, how about you try out Miracle Clubhouse? They help with employment and other things like that. And so I went there, and I haven't left since, and it's been about 5 years, and they're never going to get rid of me because I'm obsessed, so. So now to my script. So we need your support today, so please consider making a gift to Miracle Clubhouse right now. You can do that simply by texting the word BELONG25 to 76278. And when you make a gift to Miracle Clubhouse, please raise your hand and you will receive one of these Miracle Makers, because every gift you make goes right to Miracle Clubhouse, where miracles happen every day. Absolutely. So please consider making a gift right now by texting, again, BELONG25, and be sure to get your Miracle Maker.
All right, well, then I think that about does it. We were asked to come and do this together. But again, like I said, thanks to all of you in the back. My Miracle Clubhouse family back there, I see you. Most of us got the green shirts on. Yeah. I see you. And I'm going to tell you something, I love you too. You helped bring me from a long way. And I'm also part of your program too as well. So let's just keep on keeping on and do what we do. All right?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, and don't forget our online auction for Hope. You can access that by clicking on your personalized link in the text message you should have just received, or by visiting gesmv.org. So thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ricky and Kate. Just tell me when karaoke night is. I'll be there. I do a mean Reba McEntire. That's all I'm saying. Now we'd like to recognize our sponsors and their generous support for today's event. Thank you to our presenting sponsors, Gary and Rachel Alman and the Angel Fly Foundation. We appreciate you, Ferguson Construction, our media partners, Cox Media Group Ohio, WHIO TV, and K99.1 FM. Thank you to all of our sponsors. You have really noted the scroll all throughout. You can take a look at that and appreciate our sponsors throughout the event. The important event would not be possible. This event would not be possible without these wonderful sponsors, and we thank you. In addition to that, our amazing volunteers. We couldn't do this without you. So volunteers, if you are able, would you please stand or raise your hand so we can show you some love because you deserve it. Volunteers? And have you all noticed the gorgeous centerpieces? Thanks to our partners at the Dayton Food Bank for their creativity and production of these living lettuce centerpieces. They're lovely. Now, please welcome to the stage Kevin Wegesser. He's the Vice Chairman of the Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley Board of Trustees. Kevin?
Thank you, and thank you, Kate and Ricky, for sharing your story. That was truly inspirational, and we appreciate your courage. We appreciate your story. It's going to help so many others, and already has, so thanks for all that you're doing. Good afternoon. What a wonderful event, a wonderful gathering today for such an amazing organization that has such a great impact in our community. There's one more group that I would like to recognize, and that is our Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley Board of Trustees. We appreciate your passion for our mission and all the work and dedication that you do on behalf of Goodwill Easter Seals, the Miracle Clubhouse, and most importantly, the thousands of individuals who receive impactful services across our region each day. We ask now that our Board of Trustees and past trustees, because I see plenty of you here today as well, stand and be recognized for your service to the organization. Thank you. Your work is very meaningful. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, which makes this celebration today even more special and even more important. Today, I'm pleased to share with you that our Miracle Clubhouse was the second clubhouse in the state of Ohio to receive Clubhouse International Association accreditation in 2016, and we remain accredited to this day. There are now 7 clubhouses in the Clubhouse Ohio Coalition. 3 are accredited, 4 are in the process of being accredited. So that number continues to grow, which is awesome to see. Accreditation means that we adhere to 37 strict standards that govern how clubhouses operate and are managed around the world. We feel strongly that the Clubhouse is a community of hope, growth, and opportunity. Hope is found at the Miracle Clubhouse through the work order day that provides opportunities for members to learn valuable skills that lead to meaningful employment. Growth is found in the employment programs that assist members in finding those jobs, that help them gain a sense of pride, and most importantly, the ability to contribute to their community. And opportunity. Opportunity is evident on the members' faces when they achieve a milestone that is helping them live their best life. I've heard it often said that about the Clubhouse, that it's a place to belong. The Clubhouse is a place to belong. For many, it's the first time They've belonged to a place where they are not judged. Rather, they are welcomed with open arms for who they are. On behalf of the Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley Board of Trustees, I would like to say how proud we are of Miracle Clubhouse and that it is such a valuable community resource and an essential part of our Main Street Community Services campus. Thank you to all of you who have made this happen and continue to change lives for so many each day at Miracle Clubhouse. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. So in just a few moments, we're going to bring up our keynote speaker, Brandon Sejo, and I got to spend a little bit of time with him. I found him in just the short amount of time I spent with him very inspiring, very magnetic. Could be because he's in broadcasting, or he used to be too, but he was just amazing. He's Cincinnati born and raised, right down the road, a LaSalle High School grad, University of Cincinnati graduate as well. He always dreamed of being a sports reporter to cover one of his favorite teams, the Bengals. I'm a Browns fan, so I was just talking nice about you. Well, the Bengals just released their season schedule, and they do play the Browns the first game up in Cleveland. That's all I'm saying. His wish did come true. In 2021 and 2022, he lived out his dream as a Cincinnati TV personality and sports reporter for the Bengals. At the same time, he was battling depression and suicidal thoughts for years, and no one knew. Then he took a life-changing step toward his own recovery in 2022. He started therapy and sought hospital care and found a new purpose to help others through their mental health struggles. He left behind his career in TV and founded The Mental Game, hosting interviews with iconic figures from the sports, music, and entertainment industries. He talks with them about mental health issues that are not often publicly discussed. Brandon Sejo will be up here in just a few moments.
Well, it took overtime going for it on 4th and 1. My name is Brandon Sejo, and I used to be a sports reporter on TV. And that's where some of you might have seen me reporting on the NFL or college football. To you, I looked happy living my dream on camera and on the sidelines. But behind the scenes, I was depressed and I felt alone. The truth is, I was suicidal. I just didn't want to live anymore. I didn't want to be here. But thankfully, after months of struggling, suicidal thoughts, and depression, I checked myself into a mental health hospital, and I got the help I needed.
This guy went from sports reporter to amazing podcast talking about the mental game.
Now I want to help anyone struggling like I was, so I started The Mental Game, a mental health podcast with your favorite athletes, musicians, and celebrities, all coming together to help break the stigma.
And here is Ricky Williams running inside. Ricky Williams breaks it. Touchdown Dolphins.
In order to be successful as a football player, you have to have what? Mental toughness. And you cannot have mental health if you do not have mental toughness.
How did you know? I love this song. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces fast, and I'm homebound. The trick to a lot of these, I think, suicidal thoughts and thoughts of self-harm is a thought that you're all by yourself, that no one's there with you. And it's a lie.
Are rocking the sales team. I feel very blessed.
It's really hard to change without outside help. I mean, you're kind of asking yourself to learn another language without really hearing it.
I got 2 phones, line bumping, I'm ring, ring. Count money while they ring.
There's so many people that suffer, especially men. They suffer in silence because they feel like they can't vent. It takes more courage to be vulnerable than it does to be a tough guy and guarded and shielded.
Welcome to Love is Blind.
No, I cannot marry you. I'm choosing myself,
You have to really take care of your mental health. You have to give it attention and love and energy.
It is a Yukon coronation. The Huskies make history. Back-to-back national champions.
Basketball has been torturous at times. It's been a struggle. That ultimate accomplishment fades real quick, and it's about having a sense of purpose in your life that matters.
So don't be scared to ask for help. You're not alone. We are all in this fight together. But there's one thing we can all do. Let's break the stigma together.
Hello, good morning, good day. I don't get nervous doing this anymore. I do this like almost every week all over the country. For some reason, I am nervous today. I don't know why. I think it's hearing Katie's story and just seeing the impact that y'all make. Like you saw in the video, I got to live out my dream as a sports reporter in Cincinnati. I grew up right down the road, and so it's really awesome to be back anytime I'm in Ohio, but so close to home. I'm really excited to be here today and share my story. This is something that's personal to me, as you saw, and I want to go through my story and share some things. But I just want to point out the Miracle Clubhouse. I got to spend 2 hours yesterday there meeting members, staff, and getting to spend time. And, you know, for me, getting to be in this field now and spend time and learn and hear other people's stories, that's what inspires me, and it's why I created the Mental Game. So I really just want to give it up one more time for the Miracle Clubhouse for everything that y'all do. I clearly like to be the center of attention, so I will not be standing at this podium. I'll be walking around trying to get a good feel for the room and share my story. But I'll go through this slide real quick with you to give you our game plan for today. So like I said, I want to give you my story, but also leave you with some winning strategies. I know we have some amazing mental health professionals and advocates in the room tonight, but some of us might not know those coping mechanisms, things that can help us. So I want to share those from my story, and then also give you guys a chance to ask me anything that you want. When I'm at high schools and colleges, I normally say that's not going to get you in trouble, but most of us are adults in the room. So say whatever you want. I don't care. Ask me, I'll answer it. So with that being said, let's get into my story. The first thing I ask everyone on my podcast, whether it's, you saw some in the clip, Terry Crews, a musician, a celebrity, an athlete, is what does mental health mean to you? And that answer is different with every single guest I have on the show. And it's because we all go on our own unique journey. So I just want you to think about that question throughout our conversation today. But for me, mental health means loving yourself and being the best version of yourself. And I'll be honest, I didn't do that or didn't feel that way about myself until maybe a year and a half ago. And so that's really sad to say, but I'm so thankful that I was able to find that through that life-saving care on my mental health journey. But this journey started a long time ago, and Katie, hearing your story, you mentioned 14. That's exactly when mine started as well. But this is me as a freshman in high school at LaSalle with the Justin Bieber haircut in 2007. It is hilarious to see this side by side, but I wanted to be a sports reporter, wanted to be on ESPN since I was 12 years old. And so I always put these up side by side because no matter how old you are, whatever your goals are in the room, I promise if you work harder than everyone else, you can make it. I was told that I was never going to make it, couldn't be on TV. That doesn't happen to people. I did it because I just didn't quit on those dreams. So I always show those side by side and also to show the JB haircut. But about 6 weeks after this picture was taken, my life changed forever, and I had no clue that that would happen. It was the first time that I thought about suicide. Similar to your story, I was 14 years old. Just to set the scene in this picture, if you can see here that it's a flip phone, which a lot of us in this room have had. I know when I talk at schools and colleges, they don't know what I'm talking about. The only social media was MySpace at the time, so very new. I was the first kind of generation to have cell phones at my age as a 14-year-old freshman in high school, and so that presented its challenges. I'll never forget being in the front row at this football game at Elder, Cincinnati, LaSalle versus Elder, a big rivalry. And I look back and I see people on their phones, and I'm kind of just trying to figure out what's happening. And I start to see phones getting passed around and people laughing, pointing, looking at me. And it finally sank in that, unfortunately, an embarrassing photo of me got sent around the whole school during that game. And that was the first time my heart sank, and I thought, I'm alone. I don't want to be here. I don't know what to do. And those next 2 to 3 months at school, after that night of being so sad, not knowing what mental health was, not knowing what suicide, anxiety therapy was, those next 2 to 3 months at school were awful. People made fun of me. I had no friends anymore. Counselors teachers, they knew what was going on, but because of the stigma around mental health, they didn't ask if I was okay. I didn't know if we had a social worker or a school psychiatrist because we didn't talk about any of this stuff. But I just felt alone. And I had two friends, Ryan and Pat, and I'll never be able to thank them so much because without them, I'm probably not here today. They were the ones that sat with me at lunch. They are the ones that asked me to go to the football game when no one else wanted to go with me. And without them, I wouldn't be here. But that stigma, that thing with mental health that we don't talk about, it's been something that we've been battling in society forever because really until recently, outside of amazing therapists, places like the Miracle Clubhouse, we didn't talk about this. I always ask this at the schools and colleges so the young people in the room can see, but I want to prove it with us too. Please, if you are, sitting here today, just raise your hand if you were ever taught about mental health in school. Raise your hand if you were taught about mental health in school. Wow, okay, so this is a room of about 500. I see one, maybe two, and maybe you guys are social workers or psychiatrists too. But thank you for proving that. I do this. The kids just don't understand it when I'm in a younger crowd. They look around, none of their teachers raise their hand. I'm like, yeah, your parents, I wasn't taught this, your grandparents. This is something that we have to talk about. And so I'm so glad we're here today sharing my story and our stories together. But I had no clue at that moment that this is something that I'd fight with myself for really 15 years. And I never told anyone anything. That point in high school, that feeling would come and go. In college, I think it came and went maybe every few weeks, every few months. Young professional life as a sports reporter, you would see people smiling on TV, but I promise it's a lot harder behind the scenes personally, life-work balance, the pay, the schedule. It can be really, really hard trying to climb that ladder and get those dream jobs like I did in my hometown of Cincinnati. But I always had this feeling of being alone. And I think Dayton is similar to Cincinnati. It's kind of an Ohio thing. A lot of people marry their high school sweethearts and stay here. That's what I wanted as a kid. That's what my parents did. That's what all my best friends did. Unfortunately, I was single for a lot of my life, and that took a big toll on me, and I felt alone. And so I think that fueled a lot of my depression, anxiety, those suicidal thoughts, was feeling like no one else feels like me. I'm always going to be alone. I turned to alcohol, something that I struggled with for a long, long time. My dad is, an alcoholic. His dad, I never met my grandpa. He passed away when my dad was 26 before I was born from addiction. So it's something that we've struggled with in our family, and so I would turn to that. And so I finally got to this point where I hit a rock bottom, but nobody would know. This is 3 years ago, the Bengals and Chiefs AFC Championship game. This is the pregame show, and if you would see me on TV, you would think smiling, having the best time of my life, living that dream, and I was in those 3 to 4 hours. Right after the ball was kicked through the uprights, Bengals win on a last-second field goal. The first person I run by on the tunnel to do interviews is Travis Kelce crying because the Bengals just beat the Chiefs. The first Bengals person I see on the field is Coach Taylor, who gives me a big hug on the 50-yard line, like I helped them win the game. Obviously, I did absolutely nothing. The first player I interview is Jamar Chase, star receiver. It's his rookie year. He's crying to me live on TV because he's going to the Super Bowl as a rookie, just like him and Joe Burrow went to the championship at LSU. There's 20,000 Bengals fans in Kansas City. I see some of my friends up in the stands. I am living that dream because, again, from Cincinnati, I'm 31, almost 32. I've never seen any team win anything ever. I was just in Boston 2 weeks ago, and they were mad about something. I'm like, you guys have 20 championships since I was born. Shut up, please. But I was having the time of my life, and if you saw me on TV, you would think I was. But the real me looked like this. And those 3 to 4 months leading up to that moment, I was suicidal every second of every day, and no one had any idea. In that 3-month period, I lost 3 family members, including my cousin Ben. He was basically my older brother, and he had a heart attack at 31 years old, the same age I am now, the day before that game, and he was supposed to be there with me. I had all this pressure on me at work, obviously, because it's the biggest stage I've ever been on. I want to do the best, and this is Super Bowl, all that jazz. And then also, I mentioned that feeling of being alone and wanting to find that picture-perfect wife, family, have kids one day. Thought I found that person, and unfortunately, we were going through a really toxic breakup. And so all that at once, I hit this rock bottom where I didn't want to live anymore, and I didn't know what else to do. So at 28 years old, I went to my mom and I said, look, Mom, you don't know this, no one knows this, but I don't want to live anymore. I haven't wanted to live for about 3-4 months. I need help. I don't know what to do. My mom, she was shocked. She was emotional, but she was supportive right away. My parents have been split since I was 12. Call my dad, tell him the same thing. And I'm going to use a little bit different language in here to keep it family friendly. But I tell him the same thing, and my dad's reaction is the complete opposite. Be a man, toughen up, figure something out, and we go into a yelling match at each other. And I always share that story because if people truly love and care about you, they will help you. They might not understand at first. They might not know what to say at first. My dad said the worst thing. Please never say that to somebody. But if they truly love and care about you, they will help you. And so within an hour, my dad started to call back. We have a conversation. He goes, how do I help you and your mom? I don't get it, but what can we do? And so I'd been in therapy for about a year at this point. Thankfully, was able to call my therapist and check into a mental health hospital in Cincinnati called the Linder Center of Hope in Mason, which is an amazing place. It saved my life and has saved so many lives. So what I want to do quickly is go through some of the things that I learned, give you guys an inside look. I know there's mental health professionals in the room. Yes, this is a HIPAA violation. I'm very, very aware. They gave me clearance since I talk all around the country and share my story. Please don't report me. We're good. This is my check-in badge here on the left. This is just my certificate. It's really small to see, but literally April 8th, 2022 is when I checked out. So not that long ago. But this middle picture is what I want to focus on, because for those of us that haven't maybe found a home like the Miracle Clubhouse, is that 10 minutes? Okay, thank you. Just making sure we're on the right time here. Most of the time, maybe 10% of the time you spend one-on-one with a therapist. At least my treatment was like this. But 90% of the time you sit in a room with people 18 to 80 years old, black, white, gay, straight, every background, every job. We just have this one thing in common. We don't want to live anymore, and we need help. And that was the first time that I looked around at a room and realized I am not alone. And so I want to share some of the things that I learned. Number one, it's not rocket science. At a basic level, mental health isn't too difficult to understand. But as we show with 2 hands out of 500, 600 people, we just weren't taught it. And so for me, what to look for, that's one of the biggest red flags. If you're not being yourself, you might be going through a mental health crisis. For me, thank God I saw it in myself. All of a sudden, I hated my dream job. I wasn't hanging out with my friends. I was drinking more than I normally did. It was very, very bad. But you can see that in yourself or the people around you. So if I'm, your best friend and I'm a Browns fan, I know that's mental health is a different thing with Browns fans. But, sorry, I had to take a shot. But if I'm your friend and I love going to the Browns games and I'm always talking about it, or maybe I'm cracking jokes every morning when we see each other at work and all of a sudden I'm not doing that, it's okay to say, hey, Brandon, what's up? Like, you're not being yourself. Is something going on? That's showing that you care and that you want to help. Coping mechanisms, obviously healthy and unhealthy. The unhealthy one for me, alcohol, turning to that. I was told for years I was an alcoholic, knew my dad was an alcoholic. It numbed the pain, it made it worse. It is a depressant. I'm happy to say that 3 months ago I hit 2 years sober. It's something that I never thought that I was gonna be able to do. Thank you. But once I saw it start working, it really inspired me to make that change. But it can be healthy coping mechanisms too. Going to therapy, talking to family and friends, or just things that you like to do. Whether it's shooting hoops, listening to music, journaling, singing, just help yourself in those moments. And this last thing is setting boundaries. I didn't know what boundaries were, but we can only handle so much. You can only do so much. You don't have to do everything that's on your plate. Please set those boundaries for yourself and the people around you. And so when I went back to work, I realized I just didn't have that same passion for mental health or for sports journalism anymore. And I thought, how do I combine mental health and sports journalism? And that's how The Mental Game was born. As you saw in the video, The Mental Game is a mental health podcast where I interview athletes, celebrities, musicians to try to break the stigma. And my goal was to share their stories because, we look up to these people. We think there's nothing wrong, but we all struggle. And that's what I wanted to prove through these stories. Terry Crews, I was very lucky to sit down with him 2 years ago. He saw something on Instagram, commented on it. Within 3 months, I'm in his house interviewing him, and it was the first time that he publicly opened up about his suicidal thoughts when he was on top of the world in White Chicks, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and no one knew. So what I want to do real quick is share some of those stories that I learned and then get into some mental health tips and tricks and winning strategies. Is the 10 minutes until questions or 10 minutes overall? Okay, I love you. I really needed that clarification, so that's good. Kevin Gates, one of the biggest rappers in the world. Whenever I'm speaking to an adult audience, half the room asks me if it's Bill Gates' cousin. No, it's not. The younger crowds know exactly who he is. But looking at him, he's the ultimate tough guy, right? He's one of the biggest rappers in the world, teardrop tattoo, 6'4", huge, great guy. But we were talking about men's mental health, and he said, it takes more courage to be vulnerable than it does to be a tough guy. I agree with him 100%. I didn't believe it. Most of society didn't. People don't know this. It's a quick story I'll try to tell with each one. But he was suicidal. No one knew until a fan came up to him on tour, told him that his music helped save his life. And that was the first time Kevin actually asked for help. That fan begged him to ask and go to therapy, and he did. And that's why I wanted to share stories, or his stories with mental health with people like me and on platforms like ours. That's the ultimate tough guy. If you put that picture next to a definition in a dictionary, He cried with me behind the scenes before he went out and did a show in front of 20,000 people in Cincinnati. We can be honest and we can be vulnerable, especially us men in the room. The Office is one of my favorite TV shows. Kate Flannery and I, who plays Meredith, who got hit by the car, she's okay. Just acting. She does her own stunts, by the way. She and I were talking about just having to ask for help and not doing it alone. She said it's really hard to change without outside help. It's like learning another language without truly understanding it. It's like if you were in school and you see a math equation or a formula in front of you. If you don't know what that means, you can't solve that problem. Everything that I'm telling you right now, I didn't know until 3 years ago when I checked into a hospital for my mental health. We have to understand what we're talking about, and we cannot do it alone. This last one, obviously a hometown hero for Cincinnati Bengals fans, Chad Ochocinco-Johnson, one of my favorite players of all time. Chad's sober just like me, but for a much different reason. He grew up with a single mom in Miami, Florida, and at 5 years old decided he was never going to drink, never going to do any drugs, never smoke anything, because his mom was a very severe alcoholic. He hated his mom, has no relationship with her, and he decided he wanted to change and be different and be able to have that relationship with his future wife and kids. And so we were talking about the pressure on and off the field and with work. He said, whether we were winning or losing, I just made sure to keep that light, to keep that engine going. And that's so important with mental health, with life, your job, anything you do. You think something might be going down and it's the end of the world, but it's not. You have to see that light. You have to see that light at the end of the tunnel, keep that engine going. With this show, my proof was I wanted to show that everyone struggles. And so what I want to do real quick is usually if there's people like sleeping, nodding off on their phones, this is when we wake them up. That's why I do this. But I want to describe a couple things to you, feelings, experiences. And if you agree with me, all I want you to do is stand up. If not, that's okay. You can stay seated. It's very, very simple. I'll explain why after. We good with that? All right, cool. First thing I'll ask, please stand up if you've ever listened to your favorite song or artist on repeat all day long. Listen to your favorite artist or song on repeat all day long. Music lovers in the back stood up right quick. Awesome, okay. Go ahead and sit back down. Again, no right, no wrong answer here. Please stand up if you've ever laughed so hard at your favorite movie, TV show, maybe the younger generation, TikTok, and just couldn't stop laughing, just laughing your tail off at something you were watching on TV or in the movies. Again, a lot of us like comedy. I was cracking jokes that I can't say up here earlier. Awesome, go ahead and sit back down. We only have 23 more of these. Just kidding. 3 more. Please stand up if you've ever felt nervous before a big day at work, school, a big project meeting coming up. Just felt some nerves in the air. Please stand up. All right, we got a couple Joe Burrows in the room, but a lot of you guys get nervous. That's cool. Go ahead and sit back down. Here's the last 2. Please stand up if you've ever reached out to a friend or family member when you saw them they were just having a bad day. Please stand up. You saw they were just having a tough day, wanted to reach out and help. I was hoping most of the room would stand. Go ahead and sit back down. This last one is the most important question I ask, and I'll explain why after. Please stand up if you've ever felt alone while surrounded by people. Please stand up if you've ever felt alone while surrounded by people. Awesome. You can sit back down. Thank you guys so much for your vulnerability. I have asked that question in the last year and a half in 43 states in front of almost 200,000 people at basketball arenas, at halftime, to conference centers like this, to small, work events or school gymnasiums. Every time I ask that question, if you've ever felt alone while you're surrounded by people, 70 to 75% of the room stands up, which proves you are not alone. So I just wanted to share that and show that because it's something that we need to look around and realize that we relate to everyone's stories. I'm going to try to get through these winning strategies real quick in 2 minutes so we can get to questions because I want you guys to have a chance and opportunity to ask me whatever you want. So if you don't listen at all to anything I say, remember, please make it be these 2 things. Number 1, do something. You have to do something about it if you're struggling. Like we just proved, you're not alone. You have to talk to somebody about how you're feeling. And when you bottle it up, it makes it 100 million bajillion times worse. We have to be honest and open. That's how we can help each other. So please open up and talk to somebody. The number 2 is the biggest thing for me. Feelings are temporary. Feelings aren't facts. Like I said, nothing's the end of the world, and you can be happy again, but you have to ask for help. You have to do something, do step 1 to get help about it. So what can you do? I mentioned calling somebody, reaching out to a family or friend, trusting member in your community, just somebody that you love and that you know cares about you. I promise somebody will listen. And if you are on the other end of that line, I'm trying to talk fast. Am I giving you trouble yet? Okay, cool. She can talk. Neat. So please, please, please listen. It can save a life, just like my friends did in high school. Obviously, I'm not an NFL athlete, no muscles, but intense exercise, physical, mental health, super relatable. So please take care of yourself. In LA, I love to just go on a walk, listen to music, get some rays. It's sunny here today. Please go walk outside. Screw work the rest of the day. Enjoy your mental health. It's Friday, right? Or Thursday? What day is it? And then slow breathing, meditation. I'm terrible at this, like I said, because I like to be the center of attention, but that's me. Resources real quick, then we'll get to questions. Please know, I know a lot of you know the 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline, 24/7. It's manned and operated by people in your community. You can call, text it 24/7. I also am very excited to announce that yesterday, if I can pick this up, yesterday we installed the first suicide prevention signs on bridges in downtown Cincinnati. The Mental Game through generous donations, thank you. The Mental Game through generous donations and me packing every single one in my house in Los Angeles. We are giving away 5,000 of these all across the country. I have a couple hundred in the back of our decals that you can definitely take, but you just go to our website, sign up. When someone scans it, they are automatically connected to local resources in their community. There's no catch, completely free. I've learned it's very difficult to pack all of them yourself, and postage is very expensive. With that being said, we probably have like 5 minutes for questions. Where are our mic runners at? So to make sure, I think we have green shirts maybe, or, okay, cool. All I ask is you tell me your name, usually when I'm out of school, your grade level, you don't need to do that. Tell me your name, where you're from, and question, please.
Valerie Nestor, I'm from Westerville, Ohio, and my question is, are you single? I have a daughter in LA.
Am I allowed to sell Amy out right now in front of everyone? I was at the mirror. The answer is yes. I live in Los Angeles, though, so I don't know if she can do long distance. Amy, she lives in LA? Woo, all right, here we go. I can delete Tinder, finally. No, I'm not on any of that. Yes, I am. Amy, who we're going to have up here in a second, tried to give me a hug yesterday and went a little lower on the backside on accident. So I haven't been on a date in 2 years, so I was very excited. But thanks for that question. Sorry. My bad. I'll get back to serious.
Thanks. Corey Miller, born and raised Dayton, Ohio. Being an advocate for someone, it's a heavy goal. And It's a heavy job. Listening is a really, really big fundamental of being an advocate for someone too. So when do you know when you've reached the level of all you can do to be an advocate for a person, and when's the appropriate time to reach out for those resources and get that person the help that they need? Because you want to be there for them,
yeah,
but you can't say everything for them.
I'm going to give a very specific answer to this that I normally don't share, but my ex and I that I was talking about, we were going through a very toxic relationship breakup now looking back on it, and I was putting a lot of stuff on her and then my cousin Zach, who's my best friend. And both of them at the time finally encouraged me that I needed to ask for help. They don't know how to help me the best. And my ex, obviously things didn't work out. That's okay. I wish her the best. But I will never forget the last time that I had a suicidal thought and really struggled at those same bridges where we're putting these signs. And behind my back, she stayed on the phone with me and was calling Zach to come get me. And so sometimes you just need to listen, and you might not have all the answers. That's okay. When it becomes too much, please guide them to those resources. Please point them to the people that can help them. And so, I've never got really the chance to thank her for that, but I'm very, very grateful because I probably wouldn't be here without that phone call. And even though we're not together, the people that love and care about you, I don't care if you're mad at someone, or maybe it's a coworker that you're not close with, or maybe the weird uncle that you don't talk to a ton. Please, 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 if it becomes too much for you or they don't feel like they're getting the help they need, encourage them. And offering vulnerability yourself can be a really powerful way. If you can relate to me, maybe you just went through a breakup, a job change, a divorce, something going on in your life, say that, open that door. It might spark a new connection and help, not just them, but also you, if that makes sense. But please don't be afraid to ask for help. Probably got time for what, 2 more, 1 more?
Hello, Andrew White, Dayton, Ohio.
You have great hair.
Thank you. 8th grade, happy to be here.
You say 8th grade?
8th grade, yeah.
All right, we got to get you on the football team, brother.
So you're mentioning resources. You mentioned you had the hotline up there, but what are some other resources that we can tap into regarding mental health?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these are localized, and being from Ohio, I can speak about it. So the Miracle Clubhouse, obviously a great resource. I was spent 2 hours there yesterday. I work very closely with the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation. They are incredible. They are fighting for so many resources. Their website is ospf.org. You can find that on our website with our resources too. I want to encourage anyone that has kids, please, as soon as you start having a conversation about mental health, it'll help them and you. I hid it for 15 years. My mom had been in therapy my whole life and been on medication. I didn't know until that night when I said I needed to go to the hospital because of that stigma. Most kids don't understand that their school social workers, psychiatrists, they have the best resources because they're in your community. When your kids go to college, or if you're in college, most universities have free therapy included in tuition. I didn't know that until I was speaking at West Virginia University last year and they told me that. Please, please, please know those resources are there. But trusting those in your community, whether it's your therapist, your primary care physician, going to the OSPF website or Miracle Clubhouse, those local ones can really, really help point you in the right direction. Don't get discouraged if you have a bad therapy appointment. It's kind of like dating. I know it sounds crazy, but it is. If you have a couple bad dates, why are you going to keep seeing that person? It's okay. Sometimes you just don't match. Go find the answer that works for you. It might be therapy, might be medication, might be both, might be something more holistic. Don't give up on it. Please, please, please don't give up on it. Awesome. We have time for one more probably? Okay, cool.
Can you hear me? Oh.
I can hear you. We're good.
Sorry. My name's Jessica Haker, and I'm from Dayton. And I'm a therapy intern right now at the University of Dayton. And I was just wondering, since my clients have such wide and varied reasons for feeling the things they feel, if in your experience interviewing artists, sports people, famous people, if it's typically that isolation just because their field is so narrowed that they feel alone, or if it's just as varied as the everyday person.
Well, before I answer that, can we all please give her a round of applause, because you are going to save way more lives than I ever will, and you're doing the real work. My hope is that we can connect dots with our stories. Those famous people are just like you and I. I know it sounds crazy, and I've worked around them for 10 years, so it's a little bit different for me. I don't get that kind of weird feeling that it's somebody else. They're different. They're just like you and I. So yeah, I think the pressure, just like you have a job, a lot of pressure on you, people looking at you, that part's a little different, but they are just like us. And so I think the commonality is what I said at the beginning. Everyone struggles. Doesn't matter if you're in this room tonight, if you're on a movie in Hollywood, if you're playing for the Bengals or Browns, like it does not matter. We all go through stuff. And I'll give a small tidbit of that of, when I went through my stuff, the first person that texted me when I posted what I went through online when I wasn't on TV for 3 weeks was Bengals running back Joe Mixon. I have friends, I have family that I love, care about. Joe and I have been pretty close. Same thing with Sam Hubbard, Coach Taylor and his wife. If this would have happened 5-10 years ago, no one would have said anything. It's completely changed in sports and in our world together. And so that's really, really encouraging for me. So I would say, please just keep having those conversations, and you're going to be able to learn from one patient to another. Obviously, HIPAA, you're not sharing stories, but you can say, hey, like this worked for somebody else. I kind of like this idea. What if you try this? My therapist, I love her. She knows I say this. She is an older white lady that never watched me on TV, doesn't know what Joe Burrow or football is, but she helps me the best find out how to be the best version of myself, and I love that. So thank you for that question. The last couple of things I'll say, and then I'll hand the mic over to my girlfriend over here. We're in front of people, so let's not do that. But I'll have some of these sticker signs in the back. They're free. I will stay and talk to you guys one-on-one until 7 o'clock at night or until Sinclair kicks me out. I do this every time. You mentioned the celebrity aspect. I just wanted to mention we're launching something that's not out yet. You'll see it in a couple months. Where we're going to spend 24 hours where I will work a certain job, be in a certain environment. I'm going to spend 24 hours in jail. I'm going to spend 24 hours playing minor league baseball. I'm really excited about that. My hope is that you're going to be able to see a different side of maybe the profession that you're in, or seeing how people that you love and care about live their life. With that, thank you guys so much. This was awesome.
Thank you, Brandon. Yes, I do. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Amy Rollins.
I got you.
I'm proud to be one of the founding members of Miracle Clubhouse. We have other founders with us today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to serve as this event's chairperson. And first, I'd like to thank the We Are Mental Wellness Committee for working so hard and for putting this wonderful event together. And I also have to acknowledge the fantastic development department headed by Carol Segalowitz. And yes, please. And peopled by Amanda Williams, who is right in the back in the black jacket. And in the lovely green dress, standing back there, is Samantha Hansen for their great work. And I'd like to thank Mary Cook, my auction co-chair. Stand up, please, Mary. Thank you. So thank you to my family, my friends, my husband, Ron, my son, Lee.
You have a husband?
I do. 42 years. And for their attendance and never-ending support. Miracle Clubhouse has been led by its very beginning by Kathleen Trick. Kathy, yes. Kathy, you and our beautiful staff of Michaela Leach, Brian Katz-Fisher, and Jeanette Smith are the lifeblood of Miracle Clubhouse. Thank you for what you do with our members side by side every day. Would you please stand up and be recognized? Right in the back with our members. Yeah. And I can't go any further without thanking Goodwill Easter Seals. Lance, you and the Board of Trustees, your compassion and commitment to the Dayton community's mental wellness and support for Miracle Clubhouse is everything. Many thanks to Jen Boniface, Dawn Day, and Dawn Cooksey for your tremendous support. Thank you. And yes, thank you. And if we could, let's have a round of applause for Sinclair Community College's wonderful service and food and everything we have experienced here. Thank you. But it is you, it's by your presence here, your hundreds of faces, that your contributions are so appreciated. If you would consider a gift, if you haven't already, by texting the word BELONG to 76278, it's right up here. And if you have made a gift here today already by doing so, would you raise your hand so that our Miracle Maker team can give you, raise your hand, and we have folks who are going to pass out the Miracle Makers, and just keep your hand up, and you will be given a wand, and I want you to whip that thing around with enthusiasm. And if you are old school, if you prefer a check in an envelope, we would love to have that too. And there's envelopes on the table, and we will have friends at either end, no matter which way you came in and how you're going to go out, who will collect those envelopes for us. So if you'll please hand them off to someone, that would be great. Here's a housekeeping notice. Please feel free for someone at your table to take one of our living lettuce centerpieces. They are edible. Thank you again to the Dayton Food Bank. Also, don't forget to check our auction for hope. It's an online auction with something for everyone. And the good news is, my friends, bidding continues until noon tomorrow. So you have plenty of time to make a bid, and please do. And you will receive instructions on how to collect your prize once you have been notified that you've received the winning bid. And of course, all proceeds go to Miracle Clubhouse. Thank you for coming today and helping us create a community of hope, growth, and opportunity where our members thrive and learn to live mentally well. Thank you so kindly for everything. And Brandon, what a wonderful job you did. Thank you.
Sorry for saying that.
No. All right. Yeah. So let's see some waving. Can I see some waving? Can I see some waving? Oh, you are fantastic. Thank you so very much. And Brandon, if you would like to give a final word and just send us off before we have our benediction with Sister Seal is going to come and give us our benediction. Do you want to say a few words?
I just wanted to say thank you. Again, this is really special for me. I'm here for today, tomorrow, then go back to LA. I drove from Ohio to LA last year. It's not an easy drive, but I live there not because it's better than Ohio. It's not. It's because it's where we're able to have those conversations and have those shows. I did just want to make one housekeeping note on like my meet and greet back there. If you just want a picture, I'm going to do those first because that usually gets everyone in and out real quick. And then I would love to answer questions, have conversations again. I'll stay as long as I can. Please donate and help Miracle Clubhouse. They are an amazing organization. Thank you to Goodwill and everyone for coming today.
Thank you so much. Sister Cecilia of the Sisters of the Precious Blood, they have been wonderful supporters of Miracle Clubhouse, helped us purchase our van, the first van that we had for our program. They have been a blessing to us. Thank you, ma'am.
Let us continue thanking our God for this wonderful event. Good and gracious God, thank you for blessing our gathering today and for having this wonderful opportunity to support the Miracle Clubhouse. We thank you for our guest speaker, Brandon Seho, who gave us such a positive and encouraging message of hope and opportunity. We give you special thanks for each of the members and staff of the Miracle Clubhouse who work together tirelessly to provide community, meaningful work, and opportunities for growth. Thank you for the many people and organizations that have supported the Miracle Clubhouse. We ask you to bless each of the members and the staff. May we now go forth being people of hope and promise as we continue building positive and life-giving relationships with each other. We pray all this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, sister, and thank you everyone for coming today. For Goodwill Easter Seals and Miracle Clubhouse, we appreciate you being part of the We Are Mental Wellness Luncheon. We appreciate you sponsors. We appreciate your volunteers. Safe travels wherever your road leads. Thank you again.